Well, good evening, Lupus warriors and survivors all around the world. And welcome to our Friday night video brought to you by the Lois Lupus and Support channel. How are you guys doing on this Friday night? The weekend is upon us. This week seems to have flown by. And speaking of the weekend, what do you guys have planned? Got a question for you. How many of you guys are still dating? How many of you still go out on dates as Lupus Warriors? You know, you and your spouse or your significant other, or maybe you're one of those Lupus Warriors that you don't fit into those first two categories. So you have to date solo. And there's nothing wrong with dating solo. But how many of you are still going on date nights or taking yourself out on a date? If you're still dating, put a 1 in the comments section. If you're not, put a 2. So number 1, if you're still dating. Number 2, if you're not. Sadly, my friends, a lot of Lupus warriors, they've given up on the dating scene. They've placed going out on dates on the back burner. And for so many different reasons, and understandably so. With changes that came along with lupus, lupus impacted so many different areas of our lives. And one of those areas is, socializing. Our social life was impacted by lupus, and our social lives involve dating. And so, there are a couple of reasons that we have resolved to not dating. Dating has become, Netflix and chill. Netflix or movie and popcorn, or, just hanging out at home, watching TV, taking a nap, playing board games, scrolling through social media. That's pretty much, or snuggling up with your favorite blanket and a pillow, and that's your date night. But you know what? Just because you have lupus doesn't mean that you have to stop dating. Doesn't mean that you can't spice up your life every once in a while. Just spice it up just a little bit. And so as I was looking for some ideas for lupus and dating, I came across this article entitled 5 Date Ideas for People with Lupus. And it's written by Geri Rodriguez, and it was written on July 20th, 2023. So this is a recent article. And in the article, Geri discusses some of the reasons why lupus warriors have, pretty much resolved to not dating anymore. Number one, they don't have the energy like we used to, or they don't have the energy that they used to do a night out on the town. With lupus drains our energy. And so we don't have that energy to do just a night on the town where we're running here and there and we're staying out to 4 and 5 o'clock in the morning. We just don't have the energy anymore to fly by the seat of our pants. But there is hope. The second reason that Geri gave for foregoing dating is that dating doesn't feel as spontaneous as it used to. Do you remember, like back in the day when you would just get up and, let's take a train and go here, or let's fly out to here, or let's just pack up and go camping, or so many different things that you could just jump up and do. Now you can't do that anymore. Now with lupus, you have to consider so many things before you travel out of town, or before you go out on a date, or before you go over to a friend's house, or go to a party or get together. There's a lot of things that you have to consider before you go out to socialize. And the third reason that Geri wrote in the article, as far as lupus warriors, the reason why they don't date anymore, It's because of the rising costs of medical bills, the rising costs of medications, and also the increase in inflation. All of that has kind of put a damper on lupus warriors and the dating scene. But even if you're not dating and you want to go on a date, there's still hope for you. And so Geri Rodriguez listed 5, and I think these ideas are perfect for people with lupus. 5 date ideas for us lupus warriors, lupus survivors. And I'm going to list the 5, and then I have a few that I want to add to this. But I want this to be an interactive video. And so I want you guys to put your ideas in the comment section below as far as, what are some creative ways that you can come up with as far as dating as a lupus warriors, because we can no longer fly by the seat of our pants. So that means we're going to have to be creative. We're going to have to do some planning. We're just going to have to come up with, new ways of dating. We don't have to fit the mold as far as what everyone else says that a date should be. We're going to have to come up with some creative ways to date. And we're going to have to be considerate. Your spouse or your significant other is going to have to be, take into consideration that you have lupus. Also, we're going to have to be patient with ourselves, because so many times we don't want to plan social gatherings or plan a date night because we never know when a flare is around the corner. And for so many of us, we've planned things and we've had to cancel because of lupus, because of a lupus flare, or because we just, with this lupus flare, we just didn't have the energy to go on a date. So we got to be patient with ourselves. We got to be creative. But there are some things that we can do that will not deplete, our energy storehouses. Okay, and so that's the main thing with lupus: finances, and just having the energy. Also, we can come up with creative ideas so that if we have to cancel, it won't be so hard on you or your partner. There won't be so much riding on this date or so much money invested in planning this date, or money that's already been paid up front and then you have to cancel. And as we know, with hotels and flights and travel itineraries nowadays, most trips are non-refundable. Most hotel stays are non-refundable. You have to really either pay extra, or it's slim pickings as far as choosing a hotel or a flight or a trip in which if you can cancel, you're going to get 100%, a 100% refund of your monies. And so you have to be really careful with that. And that's something, again, with inflation and rising costs and, the cost of everything, we don't want to invest our money and then end up losing it, or having to pay late fees, or half of what you've put down as a down payment. You end up losing that. So we got to be creative. We got to be careful. But there are some things that you can do that don't cost a lot of money, that will not deplete your energy, that there are some things that are free that you can do. There are so many things that are happening since it's summertime that are free to the public. You know how they say the best things in life are free. And I truly believe that. I believe that the best things in life are free. But anyway, let's take a look at the 5 ideas that Geri Rodriguez had for date nights for lupus warriors. Number 1, eating out at a restaurant. That's understandable. Some restaurants you have to make reservations, but some of them you can just walk in and be seated. Number 2, movie night. Not movie night at home, but going out to see a movie. That doesn't take a lot of planning. That doesn't hit the budget too hard. Number three, a picnic in the park. That is so romantic. You know, pack a picnic basket, get out the old picnic blanket and the red and white checkered looking picnic, what do you call it, cloth or whatever, and have sandwiches and some fruit and just, you know, sit down and have great conversation and eat some food. That's really enjoyable. That's very romantic. Number four, visit a museum or an art gallery. And number five is a spa day. Now, this is different. You know, as women, we love spa days. But you know what? I think your male counterparts, that they would benefit significantly from a spa day. A lot of men don't really think about that, you know, a spa day. They think of that as, you know, a girly thing. But men, you know, keep that in mind. Don't keep an open mind to spa day. Because believe me, the benefits of being pampered as a male, men like to be pampered too. They may not admit it, but the benefits of being pampered as a male can make things spicy later on, if you know what I'm saying. But these are the things that I added to, you know, as some ideas for date night. To go see a play, a comedy show, or a fashion show. Free summer concerts in the park. There's lots of those going on in my area. Every Wednesday, every Thursday, and every Friday, there's a free concert in the park in my area. And some parks are even offering free movie night, where they put a big screen in the park, and all you have to bring is your blanket, your chair, and you if you want to bring some food and some drinks, you can. But they sell popcorn, they sell hot dogs, and this can be a family thing, but it gets you out of the house and it gets you around people, you know, gets you back into the social scene. The next idea that I came up with is a tour of historical homes. And that's something that's always been on my list, whether I'm going on a date or if I'm going by myself. I've always wanted to take a tour of the mansions that's in my area. I heard that you'll be amazed at what's inside of these historical mansions, what you'll find, the treasures that you'll find. The next idea that I have is, you know, attend a poetry freestyle, you know, and even step outside of your comfort zone and just go up there and freestyle a couple of poetry lines. You know, I've always thought that would be cool. The next idea that I came up with, you know, if you're into, you know, wine, you know, go for a wine and cheese tasting. You know, also, this just came to mind. Go on a date to paint, what is it? Paintly pottery or something like that, where you choose different items that they have for sale and you can paint those together and just see how creative and what you can come up with. What will be the end product of you and your date painting together. And then last but not least, the last idea that I came up with is a couples retreat. Man, you know, there are some cool couples retreats out there that can fit the taste and accommodate the taste of anybody, whether you're an outdoors person. You can do zip lining, camping. They have classes for couples, all kinds of cool things that you can do together with your spouse or your significant other. So going to a couples retreat. So again, like I said, what are some ideas that you have for date nights for Lupus Warriors? I'm going to wrap the video up at this time. I really want to, I'm looking forward to reading your ideas in the comment section below. So as I say at the end of every video, there is life after lupus. God loves you with all of his heart. He always has. He has a plan, a purpose, and a destiny for your life that involves you showing up as you. So stay encouraged, my friend. Be creative, be bold, be spontaneous, and I will talk to you all soon on the next video. Stay blessed, my friends. Bye for now.